All right. This here. Well, good evening, everybody. And officially, I think I've talked to most of you, but Happy New Year. And we we survived 2020. We're doing a little staff kind of celebration or planning thing at the end of the month. And I was talking to one of the restaurants, and they said, "Is there a title for the event?" And I said, "Yeah, we survived 2020." So that would be the the big thing. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. So I know that we're in for some different challenges for 2021. Some will carry over, but it seems to me that everybody's almost grown a little more resilient and a little more thick-skinned with all this stuff, and it seems to be attacking it pretty aggressively. So it's cool to see, cool to be a part of. So tonight we're going to cover a couple different things. Please hang around to the very end, because there's something near and dear to my heart that I want to cover at the end tonight, and I think a lot of you will be glad that you hung around. So first of all, thank you guys for being with us and working with us through 2020. I've said this a couple of times, and I think Millie coined the phrase of the year when she said, me and my HR team have gotten 15 years experience in 5 months, right in the middle of COVID. And I know it definitely felt that way. And so huge shout out to our team, the amount of hours that they put in, just like I'm sure you and your staffs did to get through this. It was actually really cool to see everybody come together. I think it made us a lot better and forced us to improve in areas and get better. So I think that's always true of adversity. And so that was really cool to survive that. So kind of looking forward, I'm going to cover the new bill. I'm going to talk about some things, what's going on in the unemployment world. We'll talk about, of course, how we can help you guys with the new PPP and new rounds of loans, making sure everybody's up to speed on that. Also just this year, kind of what some things we are working on and want to be able to bring to the table to you guys. And then we'll get into a topic that's near and dear, and then we'll wrap up. So with that being said, let's dive into the new bill first. That's probably going to be the best way to do this. So let me share my screen here. There we go. Desktop and share. Minimize this, and I'll pull this up. All right. So, I always do this weird view slideshow. Okay. So again, thank you guys and welcome. If you have questions, truthfully, what we'll probably do during this one is just text me. I think everybody on here should have my number. It'll probably be easier because sometimes I don't see the chat right away. So if you don't have my number here, I'll give it to you real quick. So grab a pen and paper. It's 210-836-5668. Again, 210-836-5668. That's myself. You got questions as we go through. So kind of the first topic, unemployment insurance. So they added additional $120 billion in funding for unemployment. The federal pandemic unemployment compensation of an additional $300 per week has been extended from December 26th to March 14th. I think we can all look at the pros and cons of this. I know for some people it's really helped, although for some of you who actually are on here, this has also really hindered your ability to hire employees. Really sad. I've had numerous clients offer to pay wages they've never offered before, and literally cannot fill shifts, cannot fill bodies. So it's really hindered their business, not because of lack of customers, but because of a lack of employees. So, and this is definitely affecting that. So, again, kind of pros and cons to these things that they're doing, but obviously this is extended. The pandemic emergency unemployment compensation is an additional weeks of unemployment up to 24 weeks. So, they can get that for up to an additional 24 weeks is what was tacked on. Also, actually, in regards to unemployment, let me just cover this since we're on the topic. Let me do this. How do I get out of here and show? So we got this letter. A lot of you probably got this letter as well. I'm going to pull this here. So this is a letter we got from TWC. It basically says they are working to keep everybody's tax rates as low as possible. I question that, to be honest with you. TWC is closely monitoring discussions with Congress about potential relief, tax reductions, and obviously in a normal year, your unemployment tax rates come out in December. This letter says that they will not be releasing them until February. However, they will be retroactive for the 1st. So let me kind of walk through this a little bit here. They replenish the trust fund is how it works. Here, I'll do this so you guys can see me stare at that. So the way that it works, and one of the great things about being with a PEO is you're never penalized for our experience, and quite frankly, for your experience, truthfully. And really, our HR team does a phenomenal job. I mean, literally, we're talking about millions of dollars in claims, especially this past year. And Millie and her team won the vast majority of those, and except for obviously COVID. And so if a claim is related as COVID, there actually didn't even do hearings. There wasn't a protest. TWC wasn't conducting hearings. It was an automatic approval. And this is why I said I doubt that they're trying to keep costs down. I can probably get on my soapbox here, but it was part of the bailout. The states got the bailout. They got funded for unemployment, and basically said, we're not going to penalize employers. Well, now all around the country they are. Texas is kind of late to the game on this. Most states have released them, and basically in your unemployment, you have your experience rating, which is based on your individual experience, or in this case, our individual experience. I'm not concerned about going up. And even if it did, we don't pass that on to clients. That's our responsibility. What looks like is going to go up, and what's going up is the replenish rate. And actually 3 things. I made a note. The replenish rate, the employment training investment assessment rate, and the deficit rate. So these are 3 rates that, even if a company's on its own, has been in business for 30 years and has never had a single unemployment claim, you're still paying that tax, right? And that rate, that base rate, looks like it's going to increase. And so what we're trying to do is figure out, okay, how do we do it, right? Because we're hearing between 2% and 4%. So to give you an idea, based on the fall offs of that for employees, that would mean an increase of about $180 to $360 per year per worksite employee, like overall. So in the grand scheme of things, not a giant amount of money, but it is money. And so what they're saying is they're going to release it in February, but it's going to be retroactive. And so I've been talking to a lot of people in our industry and even in parallel industry, staffing, things like that. And I think what the best course to do is to say, let's estimate the lowest, right? Let's look at a 2% deal. And then if we guessed wrong, that way the correction isn't, one big correction in February where we have to go back. And it's a big bill. And then if it's not 2%, we're going to hold that money and we'll just credit it right back. So we're not trying to, make any money or anything on it, but I think that's the best way to handle it. So you guys will be seeing that. We're still kind of working through details of that. I'm hoping to try to get something from the state, but you will be seeing that here soon. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have questions on that, just let me know. So let me pull this back up. That's kind of an update on unemployment. It's kind of cruddy, honestly, on behalf of the state. I'm sure a lot of you saw that too, is to not tell us what it is. So it'd be like them saying, hey, Social Security tax is going up, but we're not going to tell you what it is, but it's retroactive. And that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So that's the unemployment situation. Direct payments, I think everybody knows about this pretty much. 166 billion funding, $600 for individuals up to 75,000, $1,200 for couples up to 150,000 plus $600 per dependent. This was in that initial bill. They are looking at, obviously they did another one for an additional 2,000. So you guys, your employees should be seeing that as well. Paycheck protection program. So this is kind of this is the hot topic. This is the one I get the most calls about for sure. Forgiveness of loans will not be included as taxable income. So that was a real concern for a lot of people. And they really waited till late in the game to announce that. So if you got a PPP loan, it's not included as taxable income, and you can take tax deductions are permitted for expenses paid with the forgiven proceeds of the loan. So if you use the loan as it was intended to be forgiven, you'll have a tax deduction there. So please make sure your CPAs are doing that as you're wrapping up your end. If you do have questions on this, reach out. We'll let you know. We've been talking to a lot of you about this, and even your CPAs and stuff. So I think we've gotten pretty adept at it, but that phone call I do get pretty often. Paycheck Protection Program second round. So if, again, most of you probably know about it. It's $325 billion, extended the program through March 31st. However, I think like the first round, you're going to see funds used up very, very quickly. So I would not wait. I was so happy. I think everybody came together with our clients and was so engaged, and we tried to get information out quickly that the vast majority of our clients that applied for PPP got them the first round. I think we only had a few that didn't. And I think I only maybe 2 or 3, honestly. But we want to be first out of the gate again. So because this will dry up quickly. It's simplified forgiveness for loans of less than 150,000. So I think they've learned their lesson there. For the second forgivable loan, you got to have 300 or fewer employees. So that's a little less than before. And then 25% loss of gross receipts quarter to quarter from 2019 to 2020. So you can almost pick any quarter, from 19 to 20 and do an analysis, right? So if you had a down third quarter, that kind of thing in 2020 compared to 19. So you can kind of find that corner there. For our restaurants and hospitality, they do have a 3.5 times monthly payroll funding available. And there's some different qualifications for restaurants as well. I think a lot of people know about this. Again, if you have questions here, I'm getting a couple texts, which I'll answer individually. So, okay, I think we're good there. And then if it's something that'll benefit the group, I'll share. Here's the ones I don't think a lot of people are aware of. There's $15 billion for shuttered venue operators. I think some of you guys should absolutely look into this, venues, restaurants, things of that nature. And if you've been shut down because of what you do, I would definitely look into that. And then there is the SBA loan relief payments and SBA lending programs. Several of you guys are getting these in the EIDL loans. There's a lot available. And so truthfully, what I would say is if you're in a position where you feel like you need one of these, feel free to call me and we can walk through it together and kind of find and make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that is out there in terms of loans. So this is really kind of the major highlights of these things. Again, I'm getting some individual questions here, just people wanting help. So I'll reach out to them directly. So please keep that in mind as we go forward this year. And then I'm gonna go back. Hopefully you guys can see me now. Yes, that's right. The EIDL, you can ask for 6 months of operating expenses. That is correct. So that's another loan program that's available. So if you guys want help with that, then just let us know. So there's some cool things there. Again, so I want to kind of touch base. However we can help you with your PPP and loans, call us, let us know. I think most of you, we've helped get the forgiveness on the first one already, got you all the reports you needed and things like that. So please let us know. Going forward, so let's talk about 2021. we are rounding out our client cap as promised of 75 clients, which is pretty exciting. So we got a couple of spots left. So shameless plug, if you know anybody who might be good, please connect me sooner rather than later, because we're about to be full. That is going to free up quite a bit of my time. And so I spend a lot of time dealing with that currently. And so one of the things we've said from day one is we want to shift, because our growth going forward is really going to be from helping you guys grow, right? I mean, that's the relationship. So I want to be more available to you guys for training sessions, whether it's sales training, marketing training, operations, team building, communications training, strategy sessions. I've done quite a few of those already this year. I've done several strategy sessions, several kind of, I guess you could say, marketing sessions in terms of how to kind of pivot for this year. Several of our clients have, their businesses have radically changed from a lot of in-person stuff to virtual stuff, or getting business from, conferences or events that no longer are going on. So happy to do that. Please let us know. And then just obviously continue trainings within the realm of what we normally do, right? So we're doing more and more on-site safety stuff. Some of you guys have met Jerry, our new safety guy, who's come alongside Pete, and they're doing a lot of on-site visits. And I think doing those things and doing HR trainings and keeping your culture good is really important in this time than ever. One of the things that I am going to roll out to our team is a deal called HALT, which basically says if you're at a point where you're hungry, angry, anxious, lonely, or tired, that we have a mechanism where you can raise your hand and even if it's temporary, go get something to eat, take a 15-minute break, take a walk, but to be there for people to navigate this. Because I think the thing to be aware of is, yes, there's stress in people's jobs that, is normal stress. And then there's probably an additional level of stress for a lot of you and a lot of your employees that isn't normally there when not in this environment. But then you add in all the things that are going on at home and with their families and friends, and there's people dealing with a lot. And so I think taking advantage of that, one of the things that we offer is free grief counseling. So if anybody needs anything like that, please use us as a resource. We pay for it. So all of you and all of your employees get it. So let your employees know about it. And let's make sure we give them the help that they need going forward. So that's kind of the rundown there. Let me just try to check questions here. Casey, I'll ping you back. I'm assuming you got that, Trish. Okay, cool. So lastly, and this is kind of, again, I won't take up too much time tonight. This is going to be my big ask, if you will. Some of our team knows, and obviously some of our clients have been involved. Actually, one of our clients is the one who brought this to me, but recently, about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago now, I got a call from one of our clients about a girl who wanted to be rescued out of a sex trafficking cult. And it's actually a satanic sex trafficking cult. And she'd kind of escaped and called, and long story. But anyway, so we ended up these clients and getting her. We've sent her to some therapy and getting her some help. And over the course of that, we've realized that it was just kind of something we were doing within kind of our small group of people, and we were helping out. That there's now a couple other girls who want out, and we know of quite a few more. And so it's all of a sudden become a bigger project than just helping one girl. And so I'm not going to go into too much details on the webinar, but if this is something that strikes a chord with you and you would like to get involved or help, please reach out to me. We are having some planning meetings over the next week or two to kind of create an action plan. Obviously, there's a budget behind it, and try to take some action on this you just can't ignore it, right? So we know it's there. There's evil in the world, and when confronted with it, we should do something. So for those of you listening, if you can help, that'd be great. Truthfully, part of what makes this unique is we can't go the traditional routes. So mental hospitals and things like that, because they want to bill insurance and quite frankly, or use their names. And quite frankly, we can't. So we're in the process of legal name change, and there's a whole bunch of factors. So it's kind of a unique situation. But if you know someone who you think might be passionate about helping us, or even financially helping support, we'll be super transparent about everything and what we're doing. But the project has definitely grown past what it originally we thought it was. And so we're going to try to take this on. So something that's I think going to be a big part of our 2021 and the things we're doing as an organization through outreach and through kind of our nonprofit. So if you want to get involved in that, please reach out to me, and I'll come meet with you one-on-one. I'll let you know everything that's going on, kind of introduce you to some of the players and folks, and hopefully we can do some good. So there's power in numbers, right? So that's kind of the plan and the overview. So just kind of again to recap, thank you guys for working with us through 2020, and we ended up having a really good year, and I think hopefully formed a better bond than we had even before that with our clients and with each other in terms of our staff. The new bill coming out, again, some of the specifics, just like the first round, I think everybody's so used to this now. They pass a bill without knowing the specifics of how it all works. So as we get those specifics, we will push it out and make sure to keep you guys up to date about that. Also with the unemployment, as soon as we find out exactly, we will let everybody know what that looks like quickly, and make any adjustments that need to be made at that time. I think that's it. And then obviously the client cap. So we're pretty much there. Like I said, we have a couple spots. And so for those of you who I know I've kind of said, hey, let me get to this, and then I'll be glad to come in and help either run staff meetings or do planning meetings or strategy things. We're finally getting to that place, and I love that stuff. So I'm excited to start to get to do that with you guys more. So that's really it. We'll keep it short and sweet. I don't want to take up too much of your evening. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly. Again, most of you have my cell. If not, call the office and they'll give it to you. And that's it. Have a great night. And thank you so much, everybody.